I'm begging you not to become a minimalist. I know that's a bit of a controversial thing to say, and I'm fully expecting that someone might challenge my idea in the comments, and that's okay. But I do think that minimalism has gone a little too far. It feels like everybody online these days is calling themselves a minimalist. It's become like a trendy thing to do. I see minimalist homes online that have very little furniture, pared down drawers and closets so that there's almost nothing left, and places that lack total self-expression and personality, that there's almost no sign that anybody even lives there. You see the one little white bowl sitting all alone on a shelf, or the bedroom that has just 2 pillows and a bedspread, bare walls with no pictures. And I get it, because simplicity is very calming. When you live with less stuff, it means less chaos, and it creates so much more space and energy for you to focus on the things that you really care about. So what's not to love about minimalism? Well, there's a dark side to over-optimizing every aspect of your life, and I think that it comes at a cost. Throughout the years, I have binged on so many minimalism channels, and I love to follow people who are living, or at least showing the world that they're living, a peaceful, intentional life. But in a lot of the minimalist homes that I see in the home tours and creators taking us behind the scenes, there's always something in these homes that feel missing for me. Our homes, they have a pulse. They carry an energy. There's something deeply nourishing about walking into a space that feels warm and inviting and personal and alive. And I know firsthand that having a home that truly supports you can give you life-giving energy. It can help us feel calm and grounded and safe, and can even help us feel more connected to ourselves. Hey everyone, I'm Krista, and this is The Slow Creative, a space where I talk about simplifying our homes and our lives so that we have more space and energy to focus on what we truly love. Over the past few years, I have decluttered thousands of items from my home. I absolutely advocate for living with less stuff, but I really believe that our homes should provide comfort and joy and personal expression, not just simplicity. And I want to be totally clear that I don't think minimalism is all bad. Research consistently shows that clutter increases our stress, increases our anxiety, and reduces our focus. I think that we get so used to living in our chaos and all of the stuff that we don't even notice that our new baseline of existence is this chronic low-level depression and anxiety. We just learn to function with it, albeit probably not well, but at least enough for us to survive and get through the day. But I don't think surviving day to day is what any of us want for ourselves. And I do think that simplifying our lives and our home is part of the solution of helping us get out of survival mode and back into thriving and creating a beautiful life that we love. Living with less, it improves your mood, and it just gives you a greater sense of ease in your day-to-day life. And I know this because I've personally experienced it. Decluttering thousands of items from my home has helped me feel calmer and more at peace. I have so much more mental clarity and ease living with less stuff. But trying to control everything in your life can become just as exhausting as having no control at all. And maybe that is part of the point of true minimalism, is to be able to sit in an empty room and feel at total peace, and to stop relying on our surroundings to give us comfort, and to learn to be enough without needing all of this stuff. But the reality is, for most of us, we are not monks, nor are we trying to be, and it's just not practical for how most of us live our everyday life. And while it is true that peace is found in simplicity, I think we can agree that joy is often found in the warmth and the comfort of being surrounded by the things and the people that we love. Personally, I don't thrive in a sterile environment, like a box with 4 white walls. My nervous system, it needs texture, it needs color, it needs photos of my kids on the wall, it needs books on the shelf Things that not only bring me joy, but also reflect who I am. I need to feel emotionally connected to my space. I definitely don't want to live with clutter or chaos either. I don't want to open closets and drawers that are so full I can barely open them. But I also don't want bare walls either, or a room that feels empty, or a home with no signs of life. I want a place that I feel happy to come home to and that makes my day-to-day of life just flow a little easier, without stripping away everything that makes life feel meaningful and beautiful. I actually did a little experiment. I took a photo of my living room as it normally looks. As you can see, it's not cluttered, but there's more than one item on the shelf. There's some books on the table. There are pictures tucked away in the corner. There are little knickknacks that represent things that I enjoy and what I'm all about. So even though it's calm, it looks lived in. I asked AI to take the same photo and to remove anything in the room that wasn't considered essential. And this is what it created. It completely changes the entire energy of the space. Let me know in the comments below which one for you feels the most inviting and which one feels like a space you could fully relax in. I received a comment on one of my videos recently that really stayed with me. I'm going to paraphrase what this person was saying, but essentially what she said is that as her mother was getting older, she had so many chaotic and very complicated systems for maintaining her home that her home became just a place of complete disorder and chaos. The systems were way too complicated, way too difficult for her or for anyone to try to maintain. So as a result, the daughter became completely obsessed with efficiency, and over time she started to see how her overly utilitarian minimalist lifestyle started to feel very limiting. And I think that highlights something very important. When everything feels too restrictive, it doesn't leave room for real life, and it ends up causing the stress that we're trying to avoid. Minimalism can be a helpful starting point, but I don't think it's always the destination. Decluttering creates breathing room, spaciousness, clarity, and so much ease in your life, but when simplicity becomes too rigid, it stops feeling simple. So this is why I'm begging you not to become a minimalist and to consider becoming minimalish instead. Minimalish living still focus on simplicity and ease and living with less stuff. That is still the goal. It still means clean and clear surfaces, less clutter, less chaos, but with a few intentional belongings that bring joy and meaning to your life. And if this video resonated with you, I would love to know, how do you feel about minimalism? Is it gone too far, or would you be happy with something in between? When you think about your ideal space, what do you envision? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you again next week.